Welcome to the fifth station in our one-stop IT shop boot camp. As you may already know by now, my name is John Worthington and I'm your station chief. In this station, we look at common process integration challenges for one-stop IT shops. First, we'll revisit the basic IT portal drivers and primary stakeholder groups. Then we'll outline why process integration is so important to your one-stop IT shop and take a look at process integration from a strategic, tactical, and operational perspective. Okay, in Station 2, we talked about the basic drivers for a one-stop IT shop and that we could divide stakeholders into three basic groups at a strategic, tactical, and operational level. Each of these stakeholder groups want the IT portal to give them views that are relevant to their particular persona. So strategic stakeholders will want high-level dashboards and information that enable them to more effectively manage complex business relationships and value networks. Tactical stakeholders will need to balance resources, track service levels, and monitor people's activities. And operational stakeholders tend to be focused on day-to-day transactions, such as handling incidents and requests. Now, why process integration is important in this case is that the outputs of one process are frequently the inputs to another. IT processes are interrelated. These processes can also be related to other processes, such as finance, that may not be IT processes at all. These interrelationships can actually constrain process improvement efforts if a related process is not well established. And finally, you need to recognize that processes will span organizational boundaries, life cycle phases, and both the front and back offices. So process integration is an important element of a successful one-stop IT shop. Let's take a look at a few basic examples from a strategic, tactical, and operational perspective. When executives look for dashboards, they're typically looking to manage complex business relationships and value networks. The portfolio management process has important relationships to demand, financial, and supplier management that help these executives analyze the portfolio. In addition, demand management will need to have some integration with capacity management in order to balance supply and demand from the portfolio. The relationships in the CMDB can also help provide a level of financial granularity that strategy may need when making investment decisions. Of course, these don't represent all the potential process integrations you may need, but it does give you an idea of what you might run into. Let's see how this differs with the tactical persona. Tactical stakeholders are often driven by a need to manage people. Project and workload tracking is often a key requirement. You might also find that tactical stakeholders will be involved in managing service levels as well. So the processes that support these stakeholders might include the service catalog, which contains information about the services, their cost, service targets, contacts. And of course, service level management will need to provide the data to service level dashboards, which is likely to require inputs from monitoring and event management. You might also see some dependency on change management for project requests and perhaps even release management for tracking bugs and enhancements to applications. Finally, from the operational persona's point of view, we want to be able to easily deal with our day-to-day tasks. This would include handling incidents and requests. Notice that some of these requests may be for access, which might get both access management and information security processes involved. Likewise, for incidents, you might find yourself in need of the CMDB and maybe even event management in order to accelerate the resolution of incidents and problems. Notice also that all perspectives we looked at showed knowledge management involvement. At the operational level, this might be focused on leveraging a knowledge base for incidents and frequently asked questions. But tactical use of knowledge management might be focused on, I don't know, maybe what SLAs we're meeting or incident and problem analysis. And strategy might be interested in applying knowledge to the portfolio to rationalize service offerings and further simplify back office operations. So you'll need to balance process integration requirements with the needs of your one-stop IT shop as it evolves over time. So we've covered a fair amount of ground so far. So our next and last station, we'll review what we've done and take a look at managing your one-stop IT shop flight plan. Until then, thanks again for listening.